Hi, Scott Nell here with the Scott Nell team.
Hi, Scott.
I'm here with Marc Schwartz with the Law Office of Marc J. Schwartz. Very convenient, very handy to have it in your name. Marc is a friend. He's also an estate planning attorney, and today's topic is, how does divorce affect my estate plan and real estate?
Okay.
So,
just take it away.
Tell us, just go.
All right. So people don't realize that when they do a joint trust, husband and wife or even same-sex couple, that a divorce actually revokes that joint trust. So whatever the husband and wife or husband, wife owned beforehand actually goes back to whatever it was before they got married. So if it was separate property, they get their separate property back. If it's community property, they get their community property back. What a lot of couples fail to do, though, is they fail to realize that they need to change their documents. So I think I told you before we started, there's a case that just came down from the Supreme Court where a husband had a life insurance policy with his former wife on the policy as the beneficiary.
By the way, this breaks my heart.
It breaks your heart?
Yes, finish the story. You're going to love this story.
Okay, so he marries the new wife, and they have a very lovely life together. He dies, and it turns out that the first wife is the beneficiary, and the new wife sues, because the new wife wants, obviously, the money. She thinks she's entitled. It goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, and they said beneficiary designations trump. And the old wife inherits a rather substantial amount of money.
Wow.
So the new wife was obviously not very happy, but it was a lesson. And the lesson is that you need to update your estate plan after a divorce. It's essential. My favorite, well, there's a lot of different things that can happen.
Right.
You may not want your ex-wife or your ex-husband being in charge of your minor kid's money. So, imagine a situation where you're divorced and, you want to leave your child a rather substantial amount of money so that they're cared for a while, and your ex-wife's in charge. She may not have the same values as you. She may, but she may not.
Right.
So making sure that those types of choices are made are just critical. Even during the divorce. Actually, I got a call last week. Guy's going through a divorce, and he says, well, what happens if I die during the divorce proceeding? For those of you who don't know, whenever you file a divorce, there's something called atros. It's a restraining order. Basically, the court freezes everything during the divorce proceeding until the divorce is final. And the purpose of that is kind of common sense. You don't want your ex-spouse, basically, or your soon-to-be ex-spouse, taking money and giving it elsewhere or doing other things with it. So this husband called me up and he says, what happens if I happen to die during the proceedings? I said, well, she gets everything under state law. He goes, when can I come see you?
So if you're going to do it quickly.
Well, you have to have, there's what's called a divorce will. So you want to make sure that you can do there's certain things you can do during the divorce. You can do your own will. You can also do a healthcare directive. So during a divorce, you want to make sure that at least those 2 or 3 documents are in place so that if anything happens during the proceeding, your ex-spouse is not in charge of your health care or in charge of your money. That's actually kind of funny now that I think about it. Your soon-to-be former spouse is in charge of your health care and you're incapacitated. That would be an interesting situation.
I told you it was going to be interesting with that. So what other problems do we need to watch out for? You're getting a divorce. What other things within the estate do people need to be aware of?
It's interesting, and I think we also talked about this before, and I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit repetitive, but,
You are.
I am. That's
Yes.
me, though. Repetition is the master of all learning. I don't know if you realize that, but that is how people learn. You teach them once, they're not going to remember. So after the divorce, I don't know if this is kind of included in your question, they want to do some form of cheap estate planning. So what a lot of ex-spouses will do is they'll add their kids to the title of their property, which is a disaster. Because not only does that let you, it gives up some control, so that you basically have to go to your kid now in order to take out a loan or to sell the house. But it also robs them of some tax benefits. So one of the neat things, I don't know if I want to say it this way, death is a great tax shelter. It's a horrible thing to say, but it's true. So when...
That's going to be a title, by the way. It's going to say...
Death is a great tax shelter?
Yes, yes.
That's good. I like that. It goes along with my tagline, please don't wait till you're dying to see me.
Yes.
Right
up here again.
Paige is really enjoying that. It's true. But death is a great tax shelter. So what a lot of people don't realize is that when they inherit property, there is a tax advantage.
Yes.
So normally you got to pay taxes on your gain, meaning you bought it for X, you sold it for Y, you got to pay the difference you got to pay tax on the difference.
Right.
That's not true after death. In after death transactions, the IRS basically values the property at whatever it is whatever it was when you died.
Right.
And then when you go to sell it, you just have to pay the tax on the difference. So
and that's called?
Stepped up basis.
There you go. Perfect.
Click here.
Okay, perfect. Click here. And if the link doesn't work, then Tristan's
It's Tristan's fault. Yes, we got
fair
that.
Enough, fair enough. That's great information.
Well, I wasn't done yet.
You're not done?
No, one more thing I want to talk about.
Go on.
But the other thing is that when you put your children on title to your house, you basically expose that house to all the child's creditors. And you may think your kid's great, he's or she is an upstanding citizen, they don't do drugs, they're very responsible, they're fully employed. But you know what? Crap happens. And they can get into a car accident.
Crap happens. Right here.
Click here.
So basically, they can assume any type of liability or credit problem or whatnot can actually, from the kids, can attach to
the house. Correct.
I need to tell them to quiet.
This is. Did she just walk in front of the camera? Right, we're back. Paige wanted to be on camera, so she walked in front of the camera, which means we got to start again to finish this up.
So what a lot of parents do in order to avoid actually having to meet with an attorney is they'll do the easy, not very good estate planning, and they'll just add their kids to their title so that if they ever get incapacitated or they die, the kid already owns it, so they're going to avoid court, and they think that's a great thing.
It seems like an easy way to do things.
Yeah. And like almost everything, the easy way is usually the worst way, which is true in this case. So we were talking about if you have a good kid and you think it's fine, they're responsible, they're married, they got a good job, crap happens and they get into a car accident, somebody gets really hurt, big lawsuit, now the house is exposed. And it's really bad, especially when you have an older, single mom or a single dad.
Right.
That's often their largest asset.
Absolutely.
And if you don't do it right, you can end up making them homeless. And it's just such irresponsible.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So anyway.
So a great estate plan is pivotal. You spend a little extra money, don't go to, LegalZoom?
LegalZoom.
Stay away from LegalZoom.
Trust R Us.
Tell me this, is LegalZoom probably the best thing that ever happened to you? Because you have to correct the things that
I
were
can't
wrong.
tell you how many times people come in with their LegalZoom paperwork, and I basically spend the first half hour, 45 minutes explaining to them why their current plan won't work the way they think it's going to work.
Right.
And it's a full employment act for me. It's great. I get to basically tell people what they did wrong, and then they hire me. And it's like do-it-yourself surgery. You don't really want to do an appendectomy on yourself or any kind of surgery on yourself.
Don't recommend it.
You can use YouTube, but it's probably not going to work out as well as you probably hoped.
Right. Plus, I found that my wife and I, when we did our estate plan, we did it several years ago. Each time that we had another child, we went back in and we found out there was so much had changed, and then or there's a new property or whatever it happens to be, any big event in our lives. And so I'm just here to say that I think you're invaluable, Marc Schwartz.
Well, it's interesting you say that because transitions are actually the most common reasons that people come to see me.
It is
so
true.
we're talking divorce, new child being born, someone dying. All those reasons are really important. And even if you're not going through transition, every 3 years is really what I recommend people do to review their plan. So I'll come see you soon, or you'll come see me soon.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Marc Schwartz.
I'm not done.
We are for now. No, we're going to go on a...
We're going to a different topic?
Enough. Yes.
I'm sorry.
At some point we need to cut. Hey everyone, if you'd like more information about myself or my amazing team, check out scottnellteam.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.